You're making me really nervous.
I haven't said anything.
But, like, you're putting the pressure on me.
You're running out of video time already.
Rude. Okay.
You're wasting it. These are all things I'm aware of as host.
Hey. Welcome, everyone, to the What's Happening podcast with your host, Shelby, and my co-host, Spencer. How are you?
I'm good. The way you said...
Are you unsure?
Well, the way you said host was weird because...
I'm the October host.
You host every other week. I mean, yeah, you're the host.
No, like...
For all of October,
but this is like a big deal. I'm the October host.
It's true. This is your show for the next 4 weeks.
It is. And because it's October, welcome to spoopy season, bitches. And today's episode will be full of scary things like haunted locations, MLMs, my credit card statement, and broken toilet seats. Spencer, would you like to take away the theme song?
Ooh, what's happening? Today's podcast is brought to you by... That would be the really scary thing.
The dark shadow in the corner of our bedroom.
That would be the really scary thing is if our podcast was sponsored.
That'd be terrifying. We'd probably have to end it.
Yo, that would be so scary. Like if somebody would actually sponsor us.
It would be like the scariest thing in my life.
That would be so scary. Like hashtag sponsor what's happening. Oh, wouldn't want to touch that. That's like, oh, haunted. Oh, you know, like, uh-oh. I don't know. So, I think a brand would have to be really crazy. And I just don't think any brands out there are edgy enough.
First we're too hot for reality TV, and now brands aren't edgy enough.
You're bringing up inside jokes between you and I.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, welcome everyone. As I said, this is obviously hello October, the most wonderful time of the year, and time to get a little spoopy on our episode today. But I only have one spoopy thing. The rest is just shit I saw online and went, wow. So yeah, Spencer, you said you're doing well. Spencer, you know what? I just don't think you get enough like attention on this podcast. So how have you been? What have you been up to? I already asked how you've been. How have the last 2 weeks for you been? Like, are you enjoying your week off as not hosting? I know you just had that week last week, but like, are you enjoying 2 weeks off from hosting?
I'm excited to see what direction you're able to take the podcast. And yeah, really just hoping for the best. Hashtag sponsor what's happening. Other than that, you know, same old, dude.
How do you feel about October, spoopy month?
It was funny that you said it's the most wonderful time of the year.
Yeah.
Because that's a Christmas song.
No, well, they're wrong.
No, but like that, it is a Christmas song.
Okay, but maybe it was meant to be a Halloween song.
Shut your fucking mouth. It's a song that is played at Christmas.
Okay.
My question was going to be, I'm not knocking Halloween or anything, okay? You just didn't let me finish.
You're knocking Halloween.
No, what I'm going to ask is why aren't there really any
Halloween songs?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess Mr. Grinch, you know, kind of is a crossover.
Kind of. Yeah, you know.
You have like all the Nightmare Before Christmas songs, but like
yeah,
those are also Christmas songs.
Yeah, and you also
I checked, Christmas is in the name of the movie, not Halloween.
Shit. I also don't know if many people just like, I'm sure people do, but like freely listening to that. Like I feel like I would just hear Nightmare Before Christmas or something.
I just said it.
You don't really hear that just like out and about too often. I feel like unless you're at like a super like targeted event or something like that. I don't know. I guess it wasn't enough of a family holiday that maybe it wasn't like capitalized on to make Halloween songs. There are some, but not a lot.
You'd think that like there'd be something for like not to the extent of like Christmas caroling, but you know how like people go, like kids go trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
You'd think there'd be like a fun little we're going and getting candy song.
I feel like there's like a handful for like kids because I like remember listening to some.
The Itsy Bitsy Spider.
The Witch Doctor, but like Alvin and the Chipmunks version. Totally a Halloween song.
The Monster Mash.
The Monster Mash.
Oh, they're starting to come back to me.
Like there's some.
That was a graveyard smash.
Oh.
No. Anyway, back to my life.
Yeah.
Not much has really been happening for me to talk about on what's happening.
Weird.
However, I did get a new schedule change for work. So I am excited about that.
Congratulations.
Work has been exhausting. Thanks for asking.
You're welcome.
So I'm like, I don't know. I think this will be better, but we'll see. We'll see.
You hope?
I think it'll still be just as exhausting.
I mean, probably.
But I'll be done earlier in the day,
Right.
like a normal person.
Right. Normaler.
Yeah. But other than that,
Very exciting.
yeah. I mean, I have a couple of like, fun stories. One mostly that I feel like I could talk about if that's okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
So last night, you and I, we were getting all cozy, ready for bed. Just two little bugs wrapped in our rugs, just all snug. And do you want to tell it?
No, you go ahead.
We were like talking or whatever.
We were playing footsies. No, we were not.
We were just talking. We were just talking, and I just kind of like, stopped and like quickly turned my head, and we have that haunted desk.
It is not haunted.
Right. That we talked about a couple episodes ago. We still have it, and it's 10 out of 10 definitely haunted because last night I saw a shadowy figure in the corner of our room behind the desk. And I said it so casually.
You really did. No, you stared. You stared for a really long time. You were like looking right over my shoulder, and then your eyes just like went into the corner, and you just stared, and you just went, no joke, I see a shadow behind that desk.
No, I didn't say I see. I said I saw a shadow behind that desk.
I saw a shadow behind that desk.
And it turns out it was just Gloob Glob.
Gloob Glob, the monster.
The monster. So, all good.
Getting into shenanigans once again.
But you were so freaked out. It was very funny.
No, I was just mad because I was just like, I swear if this does get to me and I don't sleep tonight, you're dead.
Did it get to you?
No.
No.
Still didn't sleep, but...
Yeah, that sounds like a you problem.
Not connected.
Shelby is a self-diagnosed insomniac because...
I don't sleep.
She no sleep.
I no sleep.
Which isn't good.
No.
Should probably figure it out.
I feel pretty terrible. And that's that.
What do you think the problem is?
I don't know.
Other than like you. Like you're clearly the problem.
Well, like, I mean, you just keep giving me advice to like try to sleep.
Right.
Which like, I just don't know if it's for me.
I just have doubts,
Yeah.
I have doubts that you're, this is actually me being totally serious.
I know.
I have doubts that you actually are able to get yourself, like, like completely just like, I feel like your mind is one of those minds that is just like constantly going.
100%.
And so
I'm
I
so
think,
smart.
I think that's not what I meant. I think a lot of dumb people who are very imaginative have this issue. You're a demo. No, but like, I feel like people who are like really creative or just like, I mean, I don't know, all the different types of stress that you have on like, trying to like, complete projects and
right.
Just life and
my brain
COVID
is very sporadic. The times now are obviously crazy.
Right, and then we got like impending election and all just like all kinds of different crap, and every day there's something new. Yeah. So all that doesn't help, and then like I said, I just feel like you're constantly like thinking of like some sort of new idea of something that you should do. Blah 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 blah. And I think that's what I'm guessing that's what your problem is. Obviously. I don't know.
It probably largely is. I mean, honestly, I've had like sleeping issues for like as long as I can remember. Like even in high school, I like.
Oh my fucking god.
Brag
about it.
I'm not. It's not fun. I just like got used to it or like hate it when it's really bad. Basically, I don't know. I've always struggled to sleep, but it's like a mix of like, yeah, a lot of it is I can't tell my brain to shut off. And what are you about to say?
Bullshit. You have trouble sleeping.
Why?
I have seen you sleep.
Just because I say I haven't had periodic problems of sleeping doesn't mean I can't sleep at all. I can sleep like a monster. Yeah. The issue for me is falling asleep.
And right now you're in a rut.
It can take me hours to fall asleep. Yeah, if I go through these like phases every now and then.
No, you do for sure.
But yeah.
I have seen you sleep though. Like.
Oh, I can sleep.
So I definitely don't think it's like actually. I think you just have like your little blips.
Yeah. Whatever.
But that was fun anyway, that I scared the shit out of you. And then also I feel like it's really fitting because like whether you guys know this or not, I'm not a huge Halloween person. But I did try to get into like the spirit, with it being, you know, like spooky season.
By just scaring the shit out of me seconds before we go to sleep.
No. What? No. What's scarier than me not shaving?
Oh, that's you getting in the spirit. Oh. What are you dressed up as?
I'm Teen Wolf.
Oh, okay.
Before he turns into a werewolf.
Right. There was just a full moon the other day.
Oh.
Wow, I'm really proud of you getting into the spirit this year. You know, really going for it. I really appreciate it. I think I'm going to dress up for the next episode. I was going to this one.
You should.
And then I
know
was
what
just
you're
really
going to do, too.
What am I going to do?
Do you want me to spoil it?
No. Anyway, so we'll get back into this.
You're going to dress up as a bat?
No, I'm not.
You have a mask, too, that you're working on?
Oh, that was just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Bet.
It wasn't for this.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get back into the Halloween spoopy stuff. First spoopy. Human interaction. You know when you're trying to make a credit card purchase and your credit card goes, wait, first a gnat just attacked my face. A credit card purchase goes, no, we don't take this. And I went, yeah, you do. And they went, no, we don't take this. And then your bank calls you and goes, did you make this purchase? Well, that happened to me.
Your bank called you?
Or said, did you try to they say we need to confirm some recent activity on your account.
Because it's not like they called and you picked up and you were like, hello, my name's Shelby.
Don't pick up phone calls. Right. Do you know me? Anyway.
And so what ended up having to happen?
So what happened was I got a call in the evening time that they needed to confirm something on my account. They blocked my card, which they normally do when they like need to confirm this stuff.
Wait, and so this...
But that was the night. I didn't call them back.
You didn't call them the night of?
No.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Then what happened?
So the next morning, it was National Coffee Day, and we wanted Dunkin'.
Of course.
Because they were having free coffee.
Right.
And I couldn't make a purchase. And because I'm me, I got mad at the app because I couldn't make my purchase. So Spencer had to pay for it. You remember?
Spencer had to download the app, create an account because Dunkin' was so kind. Hashtag sponsor what's happening. They were so kind to say, hey, if you're a guest on the app, go fuck yourself. You don't get to celebrate National Coffee Day.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
So I had to create an account. I have now earned points. I'm in. It's like earning trophies on PlayStation. I just need them all.
So now you want to order our Dunkin'?
No, I don't. But like now I just have points sitting there. So I should order up until getting the free perk and then stop.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, so Spencer downloaded it. We got Dunkin'. And right after getting Dunkin', I called my credit company. Convenient. And I called them and we were talking. I confirmed everything that they were talking about.
That's not what happened.
Yeah, it is. So
No.
what?
You called them?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And they went...
No. What's the really scary part of this story?
No.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it.
Why?
Because
why?
it took me like 4 times to get into my account.
Because
I think I typed in my account wrong. Because I was doing the same pin every time.
But quote you, I don't know my pin.
Because I thought, I was like, that has to be what I'm typing in wrong. I wasn't. I was doing the same thing the whole time.
Just saying.
Anyway.
Do you now know your pin?
Yeah.
Prove it.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4. So anyway, I call them, finally get in, and they were like, hi, can we confirm some of your recent purchases? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. This will be easy. And they were like, okay, on this date, it looks like there is and they'd say the amount, payment of it and everything. There was a $30 purchase. That wasn't what it was.
It's probably 20.
What was it? Oh, there was a $20 purchase at Domino's on, we'll say,
probably
September 17th. And I went, yeah. And then they go, okay. And then September 21st, you had a $30 order at Domino's. And immediately,
That's definitely wrong.
my
But
heart.
we did
sunk.
not spend $50, I hope, at Domino's over 2 trips.
We didn't, because the one time it was the free
Yeah.
pizza.
Yeah.
So it would have been more like 40, 50. Anyway. So already off to a bad start. I keep on saying Dunkin'. 2 Domino's in a row. Little did she know, the right before that was a Postmates order. So we weren't looking good at all. She goes, okay, we're just going to go over a few more. And she's like, next one is a Dunkin'. And then I think it was like food. Oh, the order that you tried to put through that didn't work, but then did work, but we just need to confirm it. And it was just like...
It was Domino's, Dunkin', Domino's, Dunkin'.
It's basically...
Like, they confirmed.
Yes.
2 trips to Domino's,
Yep.
2 trips to Dunkin'.
In like 2.5 weeks.
Yep, and you were like, great.
I know, I was just like, I almost was like struggling to like not laugh on the phone, because I was just like, yeah, that's me. Yeah, these are my purchases. Are you proud of me? I mean, it's either like Postmates, Domino's, Dunkin'.
That's all we really buy, right? We
really
just buy
it.
food.
It'd be that, or it'd be like a grocery trip, but we hadn't done one.
Which is also food.
Which is food.
I know what I said, Shelby.
But anyway,
It's okay. This is
I
your
was
podcast.
ashamed. Yeah, get out of here. I was ashamed, but also proud.
To be an American.
Yeah, I was waiting for it. But then, so you're thinking, wow, October, crazy. We're outing Shelby's credit statements. Next. This morning, well, I'll say this morning, we're recording this a good bit in advance, but this morning on the day we're recording this, Spencer comes to me and says, hey Shelby, I think our toilet seat has a crack. Our toilet seat has a crack in it.
No, I said, quote, I cracked our toilet seat.
And I was like, literally how? One, I didn't even realize. I'm so used to plastic toilet seats. It didn't even dawn on me that ours isn't plastic.
Mm-hmm.
So in my brain
It's like
at
ceramic,
first,
right?
no, I don't
Isn't that
remember.
what it is?
I like had to look it up, and everyone's like, "Oh, generally this material like breaks," and it's like kind of wood, but like not. I don't know. Yeah, isn't that weird? But and I was like, literally, how the hell do we crack a toilet seat? Because at first I'm like, it should be like plastic. Like
Yeah.
how?
You were like, no, you didn't. And I was like, okay. And then you were like looking at it, and you were like, yeah, no, like you lifted it like completely up then, and like the bottom side, you were like, that was always there. There was like
Which
an actual line.
I swear it was.
I think you're right. No, I think you are, but I can't tell if you saying it was. I was just like, my brain was like, yeah, it was.
I swear
it
it's
was.
like it's just the toilet seat, and it's just like the right side of like the rim, I guess. I swear it had a small crack in it on the bottom that you'd see when you lift it up, but like today there was a little one creeping out onto the top.
So I was like, okay, you're probably right. I mean, like, how would have I actually
Broken it.
like, yeah, like, I mean,
We're looking at each other like, how did we break
we
a toilet
both
seat?
aren't like large.
Yeah.
I guess, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think we were very taxing on it. I think it cracked because I shifted like on it at like
Probably.
one way or the other, right?
Yeah.
I like shifted, like put more weight on that side or something. That's how I poop.
I like to shift left
up.
or right.
I lift up
You're like
my
a dog,
one cheek.
yeah. You're like a dog lifting its leg.
And so I don't know. Like, I was just like, yeah, like it was already cracked, and just like the way I shifted just made it the sound, right? So, you know, whatever.
I wasn't very worried about it.
No, you were not.
I was not at all. To my mistake, maybe an hour, 2 hours later, I used the restroom. I was doing research on this later because I was like, this is insane that we broke our toilet seat. But I was doing research, and apparently this isn't like uncommon, especially again for like the type of toilet toilet seat it is. And it tends to be because you like applied pressure unevenly, and so something just gave, especially if it's like older or whatever, or like if you do like the same action every day, it can just happen. Which, you know, especially when you're in a small space, and even just in general, I feel like, you know, when you like you sit and you pee, you kind of got to shift to like wipe, you know, because it's like gotta make room.
I don't like
to do everything. And I was making room to wipe everything, and I literally just heard it crack, and I felt it like under like my butt thigh area just like crack, and I was like, I actually just broke our toilet seat. And I get up and the whole thing is broken. Like if it wasn't on the hinge, it'd be you'd be able to like lift it apart into like a opening in between. And I just come out really I was like, Spencer's literally gonna kill me, because a couple hours ago I was like, this isn't a big deal, we're fine, like whatever. Literally broke it hours later, and I was like, so our toilet seat's broken, and we just keep giggling at it. We cried, laughed about it for about 30 minutes, told everyone that we broke our toilet seat because we thought it was the funniest thing ever. But the worst part was having to put in a service claim for it for our like through our rental people was so weird, because I literally didn't know how to explain it without just being like, yeah, I sat on the toilet and it broke, like, but it felt weird just saying that, of course. And we were just like dying at, I don't even remember, it was just really weird. Oh, I'm not even logged in, but it was really weird how I like typed it out. I was like, there was a crack, we didn't notice it growing, and then today it broke. I basically...
You know what my favorite part about it was?
What?
You came out here, and I was already working, and you go, all right, so the toilet seat actually broke. And I was just like, this is your problem now. I was like, I'm not dealing with it. And then you didn't know the proper channels to go through, so it was still my problem. Unbelievable.
It's your toilet
Grow
too.
up.
It's your toilet too. It's like a child we have to take care of.
I sit on it 70% of the amount of time that you do.
Okay.
So where's the equality there? There's a major poop gap that people aren't talking about. Because that's what girls do all the time, right? When they go to the bathroom.
Poop.
Yeah, they are always sitting, so they must be pooping.
Girls have to poop every time.
Yeah. They're all, like, girls' poops are always like those, like,
the little rabbit turds.
No. They're like the really wet, like, because the pee's mixed in. Because, you know, like, that would be ironic, because like girls don't poop, right? It's like always the thing. But then like they actually just have the worst poops all the time.
Oh.
Anyway.
We're actually just in constant states of like cramping and upset stomachs because we constantly have to shit. That's really what it all is. Anyway, so putting that then in service request in was very uncomfortable. I'm not excited. I hope no one says anything and someone just shows up with a new toilet seat, but I know there'll be a few extra steps in between there probably. But yeah, we need a new toilet seat, and it's just really funny to me. And also it was extra funny because filing the service claim showed up in our list of all service claims, which right below it, the only claim we put in the first day we lived here was just titled blue oven / outlet ? Why are you looking at me like that?
Blue?
Like it blue?
Oh.
Like it surged?
Yeah, I got you. When you said blue, and I was just like...
I don't know.
Like
we used
color?
a word like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called.
Blown.
Yeah. But
Blown outlet / oven.
Blown outlet / oven ? Because we weren't sure. And that was like the entry title of our service request. And it was just us going, we don't know what happened. We plug copy in and it don't work.
Hi. We aren't in college anymore, but we done.
We dumb.
Which
we figured it out. I think we already talked about it, but we figured it out immediately and had to end the claim and be like, we already figured it out. And then, but they still responded to be like, just check these things. And we were like, great. So our 2 service claims are looking great right next to each other.
Honestly, though, the fact that we've only had 2.
Yeah.
Like
and the one we figured out completely over.
We've had so many problems in this apartment.
All of them.
Like the fact that, you know, we just kind of just roll with the punches and don't care. I mean, we literally sat here freezing before I finally texted our landlord and was just like, we
don't have heat. We haven't had heat for 3 days.
Yeah. And then he was like, yeah, we're looking into it. And I was like, it would have been nice to get like a
update.
Yeah, like a, hey, we know you're suffering. Don't worry.
But that's like how much we let it go. We literally sat freezing our asses off for 3 days, bought a heated blanket. And
we bought the heated blanket before that.
No, I thought that's why we did it.
No, we didn't know how the heat worked at that time.
Fun.
It just didn't really, is how the heat worked. It just didn't work.
That's true. Should be exciting.
But we bought a space heater.
We did buy a space heater so we don't freeze our asses off again.
And
because we can't control the heat.
We bought it and we joked about how as soon as we got it, the heat would turn on. And it didn't. Mother Earth was just like, don't worry, I'll turn the heat on.
Yeah.
So it was kind of warm for a few days. We actually turned the fan on in our room to like have like air moving at night to kind of like keep it a little cooler. But then today, finally, we've had it for almost a week.
Yeah.
We were a little chilly.
It literally was like in the 60s for like a week straight. At night, it would drop to the 30s. Of course, we have no heat turning on, and it was getting very cold in here. Week later, it's like upper 70s, and of course, our space heater shows up. But now we're getting back down again. So
we used it today. It worked pretty well.
Yeah,
I think it was like
it's nice.
I said you asked earlier, and I think it was like $60-$70 on Amazon. It's like in Amazon Basics. It had all good reviews, and like it kind of kicked butt. Like
yeah,
it felt good, and like it has like an eco setting and stuff like that. Like those are all things that you're like worried about because of like
also just like self monitors if that's what
right. Well, yeah, and like like electronic usage or electric usage and all that stuff, right?
Especially
Like
because heaters are up there and like the more power
can be,
like,
yeah.
needed.
So I don't think we'll have to use it too much, hopefully, but for when we do have to, it'll be nice to have.
You know, say both you and I are just people who like will just sit, and even if we're bundled, like our feet are just still really cold or something, or like our hands.
I have poor circulation.
Yeah, you have poor circulation. So
I'm 6'4", Shelby. All right, my height will probably be the death of me. Hope you're happy. I'm glad we're joking about it. It's pretty fucking scary. Just like that was supposed to be a segue for you. I'm a great co-host.
Stop. You can't amp yourself up as a host and a co-host.
Yeah, I can.
No, you absolutely cannot.
I absolutely can.
All right, we're here for this week's spoopy segment. I almost forgot that word. Today, stop.
I'm a great host on this. I'm a great co-host on this. I'm a great co-host for my other podcast.
Oh my God, what I meant to say about... Wait, really quick. What I meant to say about the toilet seat was my Google search led to these forums from like 2015 that were just, or before, that were just people being like, guys, I've broken like 4 toilet seats this year. Help me.
The best.
That's where I said like people were like, if you shift weird, like, or whatever. And it was like this whole thing, or some people were like, your toilet seat might not be leveled. Check a level because that can be putting pressure. And it's like, there were all of these things. And just the amount of people being like, I didn't realize this was such a problem. Like,
the best was the woman who was like, my husband is by no means an overweight man. He's like...
He weighs under 200 pounds.
And is over like 6 foot. He has managed to break 2 toilet seats. And what's crazy about that is... I'm over 6 foot and I'm under 200 pounds.
Are you married to someone?
And the really scary part about that story then is that he's dead now and I'm going to die at a young age too. So let's not joke about my size.
It's not funny.
You're the one who was joking about my height.
It's all just funny though, because like everyone's like, who I feel like talks about these are in rental spaces, and everyone's like, just buy a new one. That's not how that works. Also, that's what we told people. They're like, just buy a new one. We're in a rental space. Like, we don't just buy a new.
We told people. I told people. I said, in confidence, does anybody know how to fix a toilet seat? And the answers were the dumbest things in the world. They were like, how did you break it? That doesn't answer my question. A screwdriver. How does a screwdriver fix a crack? The best was that, like, people, obviously, I didn't preface it with the fact that like
it was just a cracked toilet seat, yeah.
But like everybody was just like, everybody assumed everything else. Like, why wouldn't a cracked toilet seat, like, why wouldn't that be something that you would assume?
I would never assume that.
Really?
Yeah.
People were like,
but again, I've only ever had like plastic, so if anything, it would like break it like the bolt. It wouldn't like snap in the middle of the seat.
Okay, well, a screwdriver didn't fix my problem, so people were useless today. Truly.
And then if they didn't say something like that, they were just like, get a new one. Which is what we're gonna have to do. Someone told us to just glue it. We just tape it up.
That's what I saw. I saw online somebody was just like, just tape it.
I was like, or not. But like, that's kind of gross.
I was gonna say, tape's sticky. It's gonna get nasty.
Yeah, but
especially with your girl poops.
With my girl poops, my pee mixed girl poops.
It's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Shelby.
Yeah.
And scary. Just like
today's haunted segment, spooky. I thought it'd be fun.
Do you want me to write a theme song for this segment?
Do you want to?
I'm just asking.
I mean, if you're really feeling called to do it. All right, so That was our beautiful theme song by Spencer. Thank you so much. Um, today is just like an intro into like spooky season. We don't need to do anything crazy. I like to scour the lands of Pinterest. Why are you looking at me like that? I like to scour the lands of Pinterest at all times of my life. And I saw a page that said, every state's most haunted place. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to click on it. So I'm obviously not going to go through all of them. That would be way too long. But I thought we could at least talk, or slash, I'm going to ask you who you think where you think the most haunted places are in both Pennsylvania and Massachusetts, or just like you would think. Obviously, I know we don't know Massachusetts that well, but a lot less land to work with, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll start with Pennsylvania. Where do you think? And obviously, again, this is just going off of like, it's farandwide.com. I don't know. It was just one of those like every town kind of websites. Mm-hmm. Every site could easily say something a little bit different. But both of these definitely were like up there for most places.
Mm-hmm.
What would you
How many places are there for PI? Like, how many am I guessing?
Oh, there's just one. Like, this is what the site chalked up to be like the most haunted.
Okay, how many guesses do I get?
I'll give you 3.
Okay, first guess.
Yeah.
That random Walmart in like north central of the state.
I have no idea.
Along the New York border.
No.
Oh, okay. Penhurst.
No.
I guess my last one should also kind of be a shot in the dark. Can I like just guess like city? Or like or no or like
I mean,
okay.
If you want to.
Give me a hint, like general area of like PA.
Eastern. Do you want more than that? I feel like if I say the city.
Eastern State Penitentiary.
Oh my god. Yeah, and I didn't realize it. I was saying Eastern, like Eastern PA. I wasn't saying Eastern for Eastern State. It is Eastern State Penitentiary.
What did I say? I said Penhurst.
Yeah, which I was like, oh, you might get it because I didn't think you'd say Penhurst. But
well,
like,
no, I knew PA. I knew PA was going to be that or that.
True.
That.
I almost thought like maybe Gettysburg would be up there.
Gettysburg was going to be my other one. I was going to say, can I get one more bonus guess? And then if Gettysburg also wasn't it, I was going to ask for one more bonus guess. And I was going to guess Alcatraz.
So close.
Because nobody owns Alcatraz, right? That's just the United States. So like technically PA has a stake. Mm-hmm. That's not how it works. It's definitely California, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I was gonna
say. At least as a museum. They ran it when it was a prison, and they definitely run it now when it's a museum.
Yeah, run this.
Got him. Anyways. Yeah, my guess, I wouldn't be shocked. Basically, Penhurst and Eastern State are definitely like the known. And yeah. Gettysburg. But like Gettysburg is like a region, whereas, you know, Penhurst and Eastern State are very like, you can point to like a building and be like, that place is haunted. So I don't know exactly how like people look at that, but if anyone doesn't know, Eastern State Penitentiary was formerly a prison in Philadelphia. I believe it's like in the city. It looks like an old castle, like a lot of old prisons. It was one of like the first ones that was like a large statewide one. They're like one of the first places that instilled like isolation because they thought that would like help people. They had horrible treatments that like just were horrible for people who were there.
I don't know. I guess isolation was because they thought it would help people. It wasn't it so that they could like think about what they had done and like repent.
Wasn't it Eastern State that was like a religious basis, that it was
I think solitary was like almost always
the worst thing ever?
I think it was almost always like
that was the
religious
reason.
Ties at the time. And then like I think it probably just slowly evolved into like, well, you done goofed by like punching a guard or whatever.
So we're gonna put you in timeout.
So we're gonna put you in timeout eventually. Yeah,
I would agree with that.
But I would have to imagine, because like I mean, like most things can be tied back to like religious what's the word? motives
Yeah.
like tied to it.
Have a meaning in religious
Yeah, like
worlds.
people
Yeah.
did something because of their religion.
Yeah. It was definitely supposed to be self-reflective.
Yeah, just
and
like
you were
stupid shit like that.
you were supposed to like, I guess, spend time with yourself and God and heal yourself essentially. But obviously it was just a really terrible place that
I mean, yeah,
people were treated terribly.
Nobody wants to be on their own. And then also, was it there or was it Penner's where they did like the tongue thing?
Eastern State. Yeah. They
Nice.
had like devices to like stop people from talking or it would hurt them. It nasty. It's crazy, it's nasty, and it's supposed to be haunted AF. Also, the building's just like really old. Like there are parts of it that are still so like dilapidated you can't go in it. It's open for tours and stuff. I've never gone, but I've heard like really cool things about it. But it's crazy. And what do you think would be the most haunted place in Massachusetts?
This is kind of tough because I don't know.
I know,
Massachusetts,
right? I'll be like, you can kind of say like a more broad because we don't really know
I'm
places.
gonna pull up a map real quick. I'm not cheating, I promise.
Map of Massachusetts.
I think. Okay, well, first off, I'll give one quick guess. This one's probably a little bit out there, but like could be. I'm gonna say our apartment because of that desk in the
The
back.
writing desk is the most haunted thing in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be crazy if I was Googling and that came up as like...
duh. Okay. Probably somewhere in Salem.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Is it like an actual landmark?
This place gave it a landmark. Other places just in Salem as a whole.
Right.
So that is your call.
Well, there's a Salem Witch Trials Memorial. I feel like that would be kind of haunted. There's a place called The Point, perhaps. Winter Island, Waikiki Beach. I'm guessing maybe that's where they did some of the drowning.
I don't know.
Well, you're not saying that was it. So Waterside Cemetery is going to be my final answer.
It was a cemetery. They called it the Old Burying Point. It's the oldest cemetery in Salem. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you could really contribute any. That's what this site said. Other sites literally were just like Salem. Salem's haunted. It's creepy. I don't know. It was the oldest cemetery in Salem.
I got it.
Founded in 1637. But none of these suspected witches from the trials are actually buried there.
But yeah, they're all in the bottom of the lake still.
They buried some of them.
Allegedly.
Basically they said visitors have claimed seeing ghostly spirits or mist hovering over the memorial. Other places were just like all of Salem, which I think about it and yeah, obviously it was like totally messed up what happened in Salem. Like it was shitty. But I feel like there had to have been many other things. Like Massachusetts is like one of the original places that like people or like our colonial like people started. Like we have like Plymouth Rock and like places like that. Like how are there not like, I don't know, you can't tell me like something other than Salem has more shit going on. I don't know, like if that's weird, but
I mean, I don't know. Like you gotta think about where like, you know, a lot of times where places are claimed to be haunted or where like the most like kind of messed up / like torturing type things tend to have happened.
Yeah.
You know, and so like here's the thing. We know like the like bad history of Salem. So it's like easy to peg it, you know, like as haunted, and it's easy to have those thoughts in your head and like, you know, therefore you're going to be more, you know, maybe susceptible, I guess, to seeing something or thinking you saw something and like so on and so forth.
I also think it is like interesting that like it would involve a place that like it hated people who might have had, if they like believed it or not, might have had like an ability or like a power essentially, and it's like for that to like still be there, you know. It's
honestly
like,
they all
messed with it.
They all knew that they didn't have a power. Would have been dumb to think that. If they did, they would have, well, I guess again, religious things, they would have been like, no, Now hang on a
I
second.
would say that's why it went to shit, because
Only
they were
God,
like so
only
really,
one.
yeah.
Only one God.
They like just went
You
hysterical.
can't be God. But really, it was some dickhead named Steve caught his wife banging a much hotter dude,
And a black cat happened to be in the room.
No. He tattled and was just like, yeah, I think she's a witch.
Ooh,
So,
spooky.
we should try her. And they did. They were like, all right, well, if you're not a witch, you won't be able to get out of the water.
It's just so crazy. I think, I believe I'm reading 20 people were killed.
That's it?
Yeah, it's not as high a number as you think. Wait, 20 people is still a lot. Like, that's like fucked up for like them to just be like, we're on a witch hunt, and you killed 20 people in like this small town. Kind of weird.
Over how many years?
I don't know. It just says the hysteria started in 1692, but 19 of the convicted men and women were executed by public hanging, and the 20th was an elderly man named Giles Corey, and was pressed to death with large stones. I hate that shit. I literally hate all of that. But they did say like it is like the tragic history that probably led to like the numerous accountings, and it's also like it's possible hauntings spread out over a whole town. Like, you're not just looking at one area. Like, there's the gallows, there's cemeteries, there's like colleges, there's the old jails, the old hospitals. Like, there's all these old things that some people would probably say connected to it. But also, this website says that, and we watched this on Ghost Adventures, the Houghton Mansion, where the Masons used to be. Beautiful episode. My man in the intro, I forget his name, but so many of the Masons talking about, like, one, I Googled Houghton because I was like, that sounds really familiar. Googled it, immediately Travel Channel popped up with a bunch of dramatic photos of the boys posing in front of Houghton, and it was very funny. But that was a pretty decent episode, but that one came up. And then also, I literally forgot the Lizzie Borden house is in Massachusetts. Which I don't know if you've ever heard of Lizzie Borden. It's a crazy story where her family was murdered. And they think it was her, but they couldn't prove it. They were all murdered with an axe.
Is she dead?
Yes, because it was old. Yeah, 1892. It was old.
No, that doesn't mean she has to be dead.
No,
she would only be 128.
That's young. Girl's looking good. But they turned her house into a bed and breakfast. And it has amazing reviews, can I just say? It's like, yeah, it's a bed and breakfast. It's in the middle of this, like, kind of bustling small town that has just like a marina on the outskirts of it. I think there's like some form of like Navy military fort on the outskirts too, because they talked about that. They were like, we're right by this. But you can get tours of the house as well as stay there. And someone said, we had a friendly ghost in our third floor bedroom that kept moving a doll seated on a chair by our bed. Spooky and fun.
Shut up. No. Shut the hell up.
But yeah, people go there trying to get... But this place has
Pixar
crazy
didn't
good
happen.
reviews. Oh, shit.
There, I said it.
You got him. You got him.
My favorite thing about Ghost Adventures, real quick, to talk about that, is how they're like, they're like, how could a non-believer look at this
And not
believe? That's what we're setting out to do. And so many times they like show something and I'm just like, that didn't prove anything. And there are other times where I've said it, I've said it before, there's some crazy shit. But there are definitely times where I'm just like, that of all things is what you're going to say should get me to believe? Like,
Yeah.
Come on, Zach.
I like
Zach.
when... Come on.
Zach.
I like when they're talking to someone who, like, during an interview is like, I'm not a believer. And he's like, I'm going to change you. Like, right here, right now. And he'll, like, say one thing and go, come on, man, you got to believe. And he's like, no, not really. I don't have to. And Zach's like, thought I had him. Like, Zach's like, I almost converted one today. Like, he's, like, so, like, in the moment. It's a lot. But, yeah, so that's our haunted segment for October. Would you ever do a ghost tour of Boston or areas in Massachusetts?
Come again?
Would you ever do a ghost tour? Like, there's, like, organized tours. Like, you can do, like, you want to do those?
I'd rather do it ourselves.
Spoopy. You can just do, like, either walking or you hop on, like, a trolley and they drive around at night.
Mm-mm.
And they're like, here's the scary story. In the daytime, we tell you the fun stuff. At night, get a little crazy.
No, I'd rather just do it ourselves. Like, I'd rather just go somewhere and experience it and, like, you know,
Would you do it at night though? I feel like I'd die.
I don't know. Probably not at night. But like, I just don't want to do like the whole like. I don't want to be like being taken on a tour, and then they're just like, "What was that?" It's like, well, how do I know if you set that up or not?
Yeah, I'd hope it'd be more like I'm just here to tell you this. Like I'm here to just tell you about it. But like,
yeah, okay. But here's the thing.
I
Like,
don't know.
you know how people are,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Well, I believe in this thing, so like I'm gonna do whatever I can to get you to believe into it, even though I know deep down in my heart of hearts that it's not real or whatever." You know what I mean? Like. Basically, what it comes down to is I don't trust people, so.
Fair. No, that's very fair. I got it. I think it would just be like, I like the trolley ones just because like it's like a nighttime tour of the city, but they're just like, ooh, sometimes people see things over there and this scary story happened and the belief is this like, happened. Like,
they're going to say.
It's more the lore.
They're going to be like, yeah, like sometimes somebody over there sees something and then that one bitch.
I see it.
She's like, oh my God, I just saw something. And she's like the one who's like, seriously. And she's like looking around. She's not with anybody, which is really weird. We're kind of just like, why are you here by yourself? And she's like, I totally saw that thing. I totally saw it. Oh my God. I was the only one. So I guess I'm the one true believer.
The chosen one.
And then she's like, I trust in the heart of the cards.
Anyway.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Hashtag sponsor what's happening.
Oh, that'd be interesting. But yeah, so that concludes that. Hopefully, I know that's not a smooth transition, but hopefully next episode is very focused on the spooky ooky, but we'll see. We'll see what I'm feeling. We'll see what's happening, So these next things are just, we can choose to stick with something or move on if you'd like to. They're all shit I've just been reading on the internet.
I can't wait because we started getting into it before we even started the podcast. And
What was
cannot
it?
wait.
I can't. Oh, before we started?
The MLMs.
Yeah. I'm going to. Sorry, I just started moving.
Haunted, yeah.
Haunted. I'm going to start with something that I think we'll only do for like 2 seconds. So I'm just going to say it quick because I wanted to talk about it, but I've been holding off. Ready? Okay. There's this product called the Light Phone. Light, right? Like light.
Phone?
Phone.
Okay.
And it was like this Kickstarted company that has been around now for like maybe 2 to 3 years. And they just came out with their second version of the phone. And the purpose of the phone, if I can find their little, is a phone designed to be used as little as possible. And a phone for humans. A light phone is a phone that actually respects you. And it is basically a little, like, it's basically the size of like the old iPhones that used to be like thick and like clunky. And it has like, you can literally text people, call people, use like a calculator. What else is there? A timer, an alarm. And they just put in a music ability. That's it.
And then on the third one, they're going to add web feature. And then the fourth one, they're going to have their own app store. And then the fifth one.
No, see, they made a first one that I guess like it's the one that got kickstarted. And it like kind of did well, but not a lot of people held on to it because all it could do was like make a call. It couldn't even hold contacts. You had to know the number and like make the call. And I think that's all it could do in the first one. Maybe you could send messages. I'm not positive, but it had very little. So for the second one, and if it's not obvious, the whole goal obviously is like minimal usage, like a minimal lifestyle, kind of freeing yourself from tech. And so it's, I think $200, $299. It was on sale last I looked at this. It's now $299. You pay $299 for a phone that can do basically nothing in our terms. How does that make you feel? Oh, but the whole thing that was cool about that too is they put out like all this, like they did all these studies and they were like, what do you need on your phone? But then they obviously came back and they were like, but what are our values within making this phone? Like, because people were like, I want a web browser. And they're like, well, that's not like the point of this. Like, I think there are small GPS abilities on this just in case, but it's like a very limited ability. And you can either buy this completely like open that you can put it on your current sim, or you can join their plan that's like the kind of normal at this point, $30 a month. I just thought it was interesting, but I'm also like, you're paying $300 for like, I almost feel like more of an idea than anything.
Paying $300 for an idea, whereas like with an iPhone and like most new phones, you know, like I don't know, blanket statement, $700 to $900, right? So double what this is, okay? Double to triple what this is. But you're paying for a computer.
Yeah.
Like that is in your pocket at all times. Like, yeah, sure, you may only really use it for like calling and texting, but at a moment's notice, this thing has enough power for you to do almost anything you can imagine.
Oh, absolutely.
At this point.
Yeah.
Dumb. $300 is too much. Like, I get it. Like, it's a good idea in the sense that, like, minimal, right? Like, there are people who don't need it, and, like, you know, it's newer, it's sleek, great. $300 though?
They were saying
F
a lot
off.
of the cost was, it was hard finding manufacturers that would do their small level of production, which there's a lot of factors, obviously, that
and
like,
like
you
also
can't help.
like finding enough people who would actually fucking buy this, you know? So like, because it's like,
It is crazy.
it's in
today's how what we're used to.
It's in like the atmosphere of like those bags that are just a bag, like any other handbag,
Oh yeah.
but they charge $500 for it because they only need to sell 2, whereas the other companies sell it for $10 and need to sell 100.
Right.
And they go, one person is going to look at this and they're going to go, it's $500. Must be perfect. Must be the best thing ever. I'll buy it because I can.
Right.
And I'll buy another one for my mom. And then they do. And the company goes, haha, sucker. And so be it. That's kind of what this is. Like, it's almost what this feels like. Because, like, they know they can't get a lot of people to. So they just, like, the price is just through the roof. Like, this should cost, like, $100, in my opinion. And even that feels like a lot for something that, like, it gives you a keyboard. That's it. It doesn't even, like, store numbers.
It does now. The phone 2 does. The first one didn't. This is their upgraded. Like,
Game changer.
You can have group text on here, too.
No, hang on a second. Does Jake Phillips know about this phone?
No, I'll send it to him. You can't receive photos, though.
You can't?
You can't.
No dick
They're
pics.
trying to create... They're trying to create...
Well, you can't receive dick pics.
God damn it. I thought this
What have
was
I
a
said?
phone for me, and I don't think
What
so.
have I said since the dawn of time?
We need dick pics.
How do you not know my famous quote?
I don't know. I'm sorry. Can you remind me?
Yeah, it's what else is a phone for but receiving random, unsolicited, flaccid
Ooh.
to mildly hard.
Ooh.
It's never a fully erect penis.
Can we get that shit on a t-shirt?
We
I want
can.
that on a phone case.
It's a little wordy. When you listen back to this,
well,
start embroidering.
yeah. But anyway, I don't know. I think it's an interesting idea because we obviously, like, there's so many things of like how connected we are to our phones. Do I think it's like the way to go? I hate how much you're rolling your eyes at me right now. I don't know. I just think it's interesting. I think it's an interesting conversation to have. That's all. I don't think I could do it.
Which influencer has this?
I saw this advertised on Instagram. Like, just an ad. Like, Light Phone put an ad on Instagram. It was just interesting. And I just, like, looked into it. And I was like, okay. And I read a couple, like, articles.
This goes back to last week when you were like, I just think, like, I could totally just live in a cabin with nothing.
Hey,
and I'm like,
I'm
no,
not
you
off that
fucking
yet.
couldn't.
I'm not off that yet.
I know. We just watched a lot of videos today.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How do you feel? I'm slowly just putting your brain in that world. I'm joking. I'm not.
Yeah,
I just wanted to watch it.
You're gaslighting me. Cool.
What?
You heard me.
Huh? Anyway.
Also, I can't wait for you to go, hey, so I was thinking
So, like,
we could start living in a van. And I'm going to go, later, bitch. Like,
that's the final straw.
done. Like, if that's what you really want, go have fun living in your van. I can't do it. Sorry. Bye.
Oh, boy.
Love you. I'll miss you. But
not worth it.
ain't going to happen. Sorry.
I'll cook for myself. Anyway.
Damn.
Sorry. Anyway.
Damn.
I'm like almost worried we don't even have the time to get into what we'd start talking about.
How much time we got?
We got like 4 minutes. Should we just pause it now and then like get into it quick?
We can just do it.
Okay.
Let's talk Pyramid
MLMs.
schemes.
Woo, woo. All right, so this is something I saw. Wait, shit. Okay, I lost it. Anyway, this is something I saw on YouTube recommended to me. What? I just sit on the internet.
What rabbit hole of YouTube have you put yourself in?
My YouTube is such a mixture of just like what was made today. And I kind of love it, but it's also really dangerous for me because I'm just like a very curious person. And I'll watch pretty much anything unless the person really annoys me. And so this popped up. Why are you looking at me like that? I like to look at different things and see what people have to say about situations.
Mm-hmm.
This video popped up. I have watched this channel before. The channel's name is Anna's Analysis. This was the girl earlier today who was doing the reality of van life video. Anyway, so I'm realizing she doesn't have like just a name in her. Like, I think Anna Reed, but obviously she goes by Anna's Analysis and everything. And she has done a mixture of van living, kind of like minimalism, kind of different like stuff like that. She's jumped around to a lot of different things. I believe she is a little bit younger than us. Like, she might be a year, 2 years younger than us. So like 20-ish. What?
Real quick. She is... I appreciated her video today because all the people that you typically watch who do these things... Like, she was very real about it. She was like, yo, just so you know, like, there's a lot of bad to all the quote-unquote good. Yeah. And I feel like that's always what's going on in my brain when they're, like,
what's
showing...
gonna go wrong?
When they're, like, showing how perfect everything is, I'm like, no, there's absolutely no way. Yeah. And I, like, hate that because I'm like, you paint it like it's so perfect, and then you get people, you trick dumb, pink-haired people... into thinking it's a good idea. It was just an analogy. I'm not saying anybody in particular, but Shelby. And like, you get these people who like think like, I could totally do that. It's like, no, you couldn't. No, you couldn't. Like, like, you know what I mean? Like some people, like some people, it's like, yeah, you could.
And no,
but like other people who are like, I could totally do this. It's like, no. Watch this other video because she's like, stop. Get ready to be in a van.
Yeah. No, I think, and that's a lot of her channel is like trying to really like break down things that might kind of like look too perfect. So she breaks down or feel
pyramid schemes.
I'll tell you the video specifically in a second, but a lot of her videos are just like, let me dive into like the harm of, oh my God, I don't know. Like she breaks into different like thought processes, popular things on social media, kind of like the influence, and she does a lot of like study behind them and like pulls up tons of resources, tends to interview a couple people to kind of gather people's statements in it. In my opinion, she does a lot of like hard work clearly behind these videos, and I think they're done pretty well in my opinion. I've watched a handful of them. The one that like really drew me in, this is about MLMs, but
nobody calls them that.
Sorry, it's much easier than like she was saying MLM like the whole video, and it's easier than saying multi-level marketing 100
right,
times.
But you didn't even start off with that.
Sorry, multi-level marketing.
You literally at the beginning you were like, we're going to talk about MLMs. You said that at the
because
beginning.
I heard her say that for like an hour long.
Guess what?
Okay, anyway.
We're not her. These people don't know that. We haven't been saying it for an hour.
So, I'm going to say definitely check out Anna's Analysis because it's like most of this is me just what I watched from the video. This is talking about multi-level marketing, but the one that she posted was about a specific company that is multi-level marketing, and it's called the Breakaway Movement, and it's basically I'm going to try not to mess this up. It was kind of a lot to take in because I know not a lot, but it's a very much like spiritual movement group that sells Kangen water machines. It's like a type of water that is seen to have like different levels of like it's a machine that can control like pH and acidity levels in your water, and it's supposed to give you different purposes and balances in your body. Very spiritual, very connected to all that.
Real quick.
Spiritual with I'm trying to connect this to science. That's what this is.
Okay. It's also a pyramid scheme.
Okay.
Multi-level marketing. No. You don't just get to agree with me. Multi-level marketing.
Yeah.
In almost every single way is almost always a pyramid scheme. Because what happens is they tout themselves as multi-level marketing, and they get mad at you when you call them a pyramid scheme.
No, a lot of places get mad when you call them multi-level marketing. This company like doesn't like to be identified as multi-level. Their whole argument is that they're not multi-level marketing.
What are they?
They won't say, but she's like, you're multi-level marketing. Because they do.
Do they have a
levels.
person?
Yes, they have the levels.
And then does that person have two people under them? And then those people have... And if you take a shape and had to draw it, what shape would you draw? Perhaps a triangle.
I think it's like a rhombus.
A triangle scheme. Doesn't have a good ring to it. How about pyramid scheme?
Okay, so...
That's what they are.
Okay.
And that's what, but I guess like pyramid scheme is like
pyramid schemes are like
negative.
illegal.
Like they're
like,
bad.
You get shut
like,
down.
Like this
So
isn't
you
necessarily
have to call them a multi-level marketing.
This isn't necessarily bad, but like it's like a lie.
It's how you look at
they
it.
lie to your face like right from the beginning. They're like, I make this much and you could too.
Yes.
But first,
yes,
you can make this much by working hard for me essentially and giving me some of your money, and then. Yeah. When I say, wow, you have that spunky attitude you need, you can now go out and do the same thing that I did to rope you in, to rope others in, and then they do the work for you.
Yep. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And she, like, dives into all of that because we all, like, I mean, I don't want to be, like, crazy, but, like, we've heard of, like, the multi-level marketing companies, like, growing up. I mean, even just, like, this is a very specific one because it definitely targets like young, like out of high school, out of college girls who want to look like they're living this luxurious, job-free life and travel the world. And she was talking in depth about their like ads and clearly like the strategy behind them. And they're often like girls, obviously good looking, posing in like jungles and like beaches, and they're like, look it, I get to live wherever I want because I work 4 hours a week, but I make so much money doing this and blah 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 blah, and it's all this shit. And I don't know if I've ever noticeably seen those ads, but I've seen ads like that. And so there's other companies doing this shit. I mean, you already knew there were other companies doing this kind of stuff.
Every company does this.
But
that has this type of like
But
structure.
I'm saying this is like, no, absolutely. But this is like one of the first ones that like I've now like been like listening to that like so heavily targets like a group of people who probably don't have any money to give. But they're trying to offer you that like free lifestyle. Whereas growing up, multi-level marketing things I knew, they were generally like moms just inviting their friends over into their houses.
They're all like they're all the same though, like general idea. Like I know what you mean. And like I agree, but like I think so many of them target college kids.
Yes, absolutely.
Or high school kids.
Yeah.
And like make you think that like you're going to get super fit because of this thing. Yep. And like, and it's going to basically be free and to the point that you're just going to be making money to get fit and like stuff like that. Like, or like in this case where it's like you live this perfect life. Like they're all just so full of it.
It was definitely...
At the end of the video, did she say, and so you guys can use this code?
I will be honest, it's a very long video and I didn't even fully finish it, but it's like 2 hours because this girl, she did like hardcore research. She quote unquote joined the movement, aka invested money in so she could actually like see what people were doing inside and like talk to members.
So was she saying it was ultimately, what was she saying? It was good or bad?
Bad.
Okay.
Or she at least wanted you to be educated.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
She's like, if you think you can be successful doing this, great.
Yeah, but you need to be like really sure and need to know what you're actually getting into, because you absolutely can.
Yes.
I mean, you can.
People do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They aren't lying in the fact that they did get to where they got.
Right.
That is true. Typically.
Like
sometimes you have more money than most people going into it or whatever, right? But like the average person will say.
Exactly.
Or the person that they are targeting
it's not
will
gonna do
never.
That. And of course.
And they suck them dry for a little bit.
Yep.
And then they go, move on. This isn't for you. You only lost $200.
For some of this, it's more.
Great. But like, you get what I'm saying.
There is, and again, I don't want to like say too much because like, I don't want to make it too confusing. Like she did like a great job breaking it down and explaining everything. So like really, if you're interested in this, like I swear you should go watch her video. It's a lot, but like you can break it up into like manageable chunks of like watching it over time. But anyway, like their goal when they get people to come in is to make you invest $10,000.
Get the fuck out of here.
They encourage you to take out loans to invest, saying you'll make that back in
That's
no
so
time.
scary.
It is so, and they're saying, and of course the whole messaging, and I'm not saying they're telling every single individual this, but like it's very heavily like pushed, and it's like, it's so honestly terrible. Like I've never seen, like that's why I was stuck on this, because it was to a level I've never really seen. Like I'll be honest, my mom did essentially kind of multi-level marketing when I was growing up, off and on. She would do it as like kind of a side job. She was okay with it. Like it was kind of iffy with like she was in one where you had to invest so much money annually and you just hoped you made it back, if not more, obviously. But this was like a whole nother level. Like this was a level I've never heard of before. And it's, yeah, getting, again, generally girls who probably don't have the money to invest $10,000 to do shit like this on the hopes that you're gonna live this grandiose life in like no time. And it's honestly kind of disgusting. And it's just this giant shit show of like people being fake as hell on social media.
That's
and
like
it's
such
like,
like a,
oh,
that's such like a,
it's crazy.
that's a, it's just a wealthy club
Yes.
at that point.
Yeah. And she said like she talked to like ex-members who were like comfortable coming to her and saying anything. They all were like, there's such a weird level of like, even if you get in, they try to make you feel like you're part of the group. You're like, look at us, we're all gonna live this life. But there are like clear levels of like, well, I'm actually successful, so like whatever. And it's just a bunch of girls trying to flout this fake ass life on social media because very few actually become successful. Like, let's just be realistic. And it's crazy. And it was so much of like one of the tactics that a lot of people use for getting others to join is, and I've seen this so many times for people who join any kind of thing like this, they're like, hurry up guys, I only have 2 more spots. Like when you're trying to get people to join under you, I only have 2 more spots for the next 48 hours, but like act quick, like they're gonna be gone like soon. And it's like, I've never thought about that. I mean, I don't think thought of joining one. I've never thought about like how pushy that is worded and like you need to do it now. But she was like breaking it down. She's like, one, if they were really like that sought after, you wouldn't even have the time to like post it on Instagram. Like people would just be coming to you looking to join your team. And 2, you're like looking at someone going, you need to do this right now. Like I'm making this look like everyone wants it, even though probably no one does. You need to do it right now. Like give me your money, join my team.
There's no cap on the team.
I know,
they could get
exactly,
as many people as they wanted. So they just give a finite number.
Mm-hmm.
2,
Make it look exclusive.
If it's 1, I'm already thinking I lost. I didn't get it. Yep. But 2,
there's a chance.
Maybe, right? You know, it's a lot easier to be one of 2 than it is to be one of 1. You know? But it's just tight enough that you're like,
you feel
I gotta
rush.
be fast. I have
you
to act fast. If I don't. And meanwhile, what you don't know is 17 other people thought the same thing and all did it.
Also,
and all got in.
That's possible. And also, it leaves you little time to think about it. It leaves you little time to go, let me maybe just even Google this company, Google this group, like make sure I'm not just getting this person's perspective who's promoting them on Instagram, things of that nature. It encourages people to just do it and not think, which if you're just getting into it, just like, I think there's levels of like joining. It's like you can join and do like classes to be like what this is going to be about, but their end goal is that you invest all this money. So it's like in the end of the day, you might only lose a little bit and kind of realize it's not for you, but it's like still, it's so dangerous to like.
It's just crappy.
Yeah.
It's just crappy that you're just taking advantage of people who, you know, just, I guess it's kind of sad that like, you know, we as like a generation just want so badly to like not have to work, I guess.
We're constantly looking for like an out, essentially.
Because we've just always been like touted that like work sucks.
Yeah.
Like that work can't be fun.
Yeah.
And that you just have to do work to get a paycheck.
They're
and like
very miserable.
You know, for some people that is like the case, unfortunately.
Right.
But you know, like I think the great thing about like we as humans is that like, you know, if we push ourselves, you know, we can do unthinkable things.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy, you know. A just newly made mom.
Yeah.
Was that said right? You know,
yeah.
Gets into a car accident and can lift a car. because
Right.
of adrenaline off
Right.
of her baby. Like, you know, it's just shit like that. Like we don't like just realize that like we're like, no matter what, you're the
We have to like really get out
You
there to
set
like
your
push
own
ourselves.
path.
Yeah, like it's you deciding what you're doing
like
with your life.
you can do it.
Yeah,
Like you put
yeah.
your mind to it, you can do it. And like, you know, I think sometimes when like stuff's not like, you know, fully working out or whatever, you just need to give yourself that extra push, you know? It's not
Or it's taking the time to analyze like where you're at, what are the things holding you back, and like take action, whether that's
Yeah.
reaching for help, whether that's whatever it is. It's like, yeah, like a lot of the vulnerability comes from either one, seeking for this adventure that a lot of 20s, like I've fallen into the like, wow, that looks amazing. I don't really like sit here and think like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go buy a cabin. We'll see. But but it's like, you know, you get sucked in. They have beautiful Instagram feeds. They know how to like coordinate a good looking page and show you photos that you wish you were there. It's part of the strategy. And it's just all it takes is that one shitty day where you're feeling so like I've achieved nothing. I'm just looking for that next push. And so for some reason that's what you see. And it just takes you that day to just be like,
So is that every day for you?
for me, every day I just wake up and I don't even know what I'm doing.
You're like, today is just one of those shitty days.
It's the first
Opens
thing-
Instagram and you're like,
That's what I'm doing
that's
today.
the life. And then you go to YouTube
Yeah.
and you go multi-level marketing. New today. And then it's you can run a multi-level marketing company out of your new home van on your way to your new cabin that you just bought that has one light bulb. And you're like, that sounds like it's for me.
Sounds beautiful.
And then, but at the end of the video, at the last part of the video title is Shelby, click here. That was the only thing I forgot.
Oh, sorry. But yeah, it's a lot of like knowing how to take advantage of people, and it's shitty. And I probably had more thoughts on it, but it was just
Sorry,
really,
I definitely derailed it because
No,
I just got
it's
very
okay.
like, you know.
I knew you'd get heated about this. That's why I really wanted to share it.
My brother did like,
Yeah.
you know, and he called it multi-level marketing, and I'm like, you know, like, sure, whatever, it's the legal pyramid scheme, but like it's still a pyramid scheme. And think about all the negative connotations that come with a pyramid scheme. Those are the same negative things that happen in a multi-level marketing.
Yeah.
You know, you're probably not getting dicked over as hard, but you're still getting dicked over pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, typically the people who make
Flaccid.
the money, flaccid to kind of hard.
Yeah.
Typically,
it's
the
not
people,
fully erect like a pyramid scheme. Those
Yeah.
things are fucking hard.
The people that obviously make the money are the ones who made the company, started off early, were able to build those teams. Not saying other people can't
And
make
we're able
money.
to like sell people on the idea.
Yeah.
That's all it ever is.
Yes, it absolutely is.
What is this? It's water.
Okay, I'm going to do such a bad job of explaining it. I'm going to say again.
It changes the pH balance of my water to
I
make
bel-
me feel closer to like the earth, and then make me feel closer to my walls, and then make me feel closer to
Your rock hard dick.
bug snacks.
Yes.
No.
Flaccid to partially hard.
Thank you. Also, no talk of bug snacks. That's my thing.
No taco. I didn't say anything.
You were thinking it.
Anyway, the video once again is called I Joined the Breakaway Movement So You Don't Have To. Anna's analysis, I will leave her like channel name in the description for sure. And on YouTube, I'll probably put the link. But it is, to my understanding, it is a whole company that sells these machines. And a bunch of companies do this, like sell their machines. But like she was focusing on one called the Breakaway Movement, or they shorten it to BAM. And they sell... Is it a Kangen water machine? Like Kangan, I believe. I know Kangen water is like the thing. I believe this machine makes your water. It's what changes the levels in your water. Like that's what it does. It's like a step above a purity system essentially, and it's supposed to be special. And yeah, a lot of it comes down to spirituality and like trying to be healthier and like what you think like your body should have. So it's like different levels of water could be different levels of cleaning for foods versus your body intake versus whatever. What'd you just look at?
All right, so I'm not gonna. This isn't great, but when you type away the Breakaway Movement, like the third thing down is literally pyramid scheme. Like you've got like the Breakaway Movement reviews, like the Breakaway Movement reviews, the Breakaway Movement pyramid scheme. So I clicked on pyramid scheme, and like
Not great.
it's not like
What's
there's like a
also-
bunch of like Reddits where it's like I looked at the master list and did not see Breakaway Movement listed as an MLM, but I have heard that my cousin has spent, I'm not going to click, but guessing a lot of money. Next one, Breakaway Movement is literally a cult. There's a YouTube video, internet or influencer cult, question mark. The MLM that sells water.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Paradise Lost, the Breakaway Movement exposed, anti-MLM.
It's like crazy. It's also crazy because again in the video she like breaks down all the different companies that kind of do this sort of stuff, and they're all
Also,
connected. So many of
wait.
them are connected to each other and have been renamed or rebranded because when shit like this happens, they just rebrand, create something new, and it's just like basically the same group of people jumping from MLM to MLM.
When was this video posted? Because it's really weird that I can't hop on it.
The video I'm talking about, it was literally posted end of September. She like just posted it.
I'm guessing they're www.breakawaymovement.com. Maybe not.
I don't know.
Like, why can't I find their...
Do they not have just like an open website? Maybe they want you to go through people. As dumb as that sounds. They might like
404 page not found.
Yeah, mine. Ooh, what do you think happened? What do you think happened? Wow.
Their last Instagram post was 7 hours ago, though.
So it might just be something weird.
I don't know, dude.
I don't know. That is very weird because, yeah, I did the same thing and it didn't work out. But it's a lot of shitty things.
Crazy that all the people that this Instagram page is following, they're only following 34.
It's probably all people on their thing.
Right. Isn't that a little concerning that they're only following 34 people, but all of these people don't, to my knowledge, look like, you know, like they don't, like they're not following like a company or like they're following people.
Yeah.
Like this is a company following people, which is
Yeah.
kind of weird typically. Like to put it in like layman's terms, like a football team is going to follow all other football teams. It's going to follow the league itself, and it's going to follow other various like high up things, and that'll be it. It'll follow like, you know, like top reporters for the sport as far as like people go. But then after that, like it's not like they follow like that guy picked in the 7th round.
Right.
It's really weird that, and like from the small little image that I can see, they all look very like they're beautiful people. Yep. Right?
Yep.
A lot of people have Hawaii in their like little...
I believe she said most of the higher ups of that company all live in Hawaii.
Ugh, this is gross. This is gross. Like I just clicked on this one girl.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's super interesting. And I think even if you're not someone who, like, even directly ever was, like, you can sit here and be like, obviously I'd never sign up for anything like that. But I think it's, like, really good to even be a little bit aware of just, like, this is just, like, a tiny, tiny hint of, like, the amount of, like, this that goes on, especially on the social media and the influence things like these can hold. The influence that things like these can hold, like, on social media. And it's crazy. And I mean, social media as a whole obviously is like a huge thing, but it's just, I think stuff like this is so interesting. And I don't know, it's just crazy. And I know I've said it 100 times, but I just, like, she, like, went so in depth in this video, and literally, I, from the sounds of it, spent money to, like, hear what it is they train you on. And it was so crazy. And I, like, can't express enough that I think people should watch this or other things like it. There's so many people making content like this.
This one girl on her Instagram story posted, "We all have the same 24 hours in a day, and you can't buy time back."
Oh yeah, oh my god, they all post stuff like that because it's very like, we're all just, like, working on this, but, like, I don't actually.
Oh, she's got a stupid fucking filter on all of her shit that makes it show 3 times, and it's making me trip balls. Dude, fuck that.
But yeah,
like, they definitely. It's funny because, like, now I have it impressed in my mind because, like, people were like, cult? Is it a cult? Influencer cult? Definitely appears to be that way.
It's kind of crazy.
It seems really gross.
It's interesting, and yeah. again, watch her video if you want an in-depth like explanation, because I did shit, but it was just, it's crazy. And there's so much shit like this out there. There's so much. Like, this is one example.
I mean, honestly, like, you know, some of the ones that are run like a little bit better, you know.
Like Mary Kay is an MLM.
Yeah. Like
What is it, Tupperware or whatever?
Cutco, like the knives.
That's one.
That's one.
Norwex. I can list the ones that like I knew like moms doing.
Like they're and like again like I mean and like some of the ones that you can get in where it's like you really don't have to put in much.
Yeah.
It might be worth your time because like if you're like I mean with how the job market is, if you're like looking for a job still, like and you can like maybe just do like a little bit of the work and like at least make back your quote unquote investment, and like maybe you find that you're good at it and like you can get to the position where like you start to have people under you and then basically you're just a manager.
Yeah,
right?
It's
like
really all it is.
That's fine. But something like this is bad.
This is a level.
Is bad. It's like toxic.
Yeah,
Ooh,
really
I feel
is.
gross.
It's not great. So just always maybe do a little bit of research on things on the internet, especially if you're looking to sign up for anything.
Man, I have a really good story for that.
Do you?
Yeah.
Actually?
My job interview.
We
don't have time.
We don't have time. But if we ever talk about stuff like this ever again, or jobs and anything, we can obviously talk, because that was a huge thing, especially
doing your research is a huge.
Yes.
Like, and I definitely learned a lesson in that.
Yeah.
And it saved you like 2 weeks later.
It did. It really did. It's obviously we can talk all about that, but do research, ask questions, feel free to reach out to friends or family, have them look over things. I don't think that's weird ever. Things can just like get you in the moment if you're not paying attention, or
if you're just feeling a certain way.
Yeah, it can just like catch you off guard or make you feel better, and you're like, maybe this is what I need. It's a whole trip that they're intentionally doing to you.
Yeah.
So just be careful, obviously, and make good choices, and watch this video because it's really good. But I think that's it. Sorry this was so long. Of course, when a girl leads it's so much longer.
Holy shit, dude. That is not it at all.
It's okay. It's just me. It's me. Me.
God, you didn't have to make it about like
No, it's okay.
women in general.
Maybe we'll talk about that in the next episode.
Yeah, we can.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening and or watching. You can follow us both on our socials. They will be linked in the description as always. Feel free to reach out to us for anything that you maybe want us to talk about, or hey, send me random shit on the internet and I'll probably watch it or read it. I don't know. Let's have a spoopy month together. Yeah,
and one last thing, if you guys don't mind, wherever you're listening to this, if you could go ahead and leave us a rating and a review if you're able to. Yeah. Some places let you, some places don't. They fuck your review. Other places they're like, give it to us. Give it. We want it. We're little review rats. Yeah. We would greatly appreciate it. We would love to hear feedback, and yeah. And that's what's happening this week on What's Happening.